So yeah, welcome everyone to again another highlight clip where today it's gonna be a bit more different. I'm gonna do it. It's been a while since I've been doing these, this little thing going on, and I wanted to kind of start from here. I don't know what this how this it's been gonna be off because I just started streaming and I wanted to put this highlight clip because of it. It's been so long since I can do it, so I wanted to just do a fun one anyways. So here it is. So we got a full. Actually, you know what? This is about a guessing theme. So this is about thinking of what I will probably run with these sets. And my selection were Ho-Oh, Scolipede, Weavile, Shuckle, Laron, and Tornadus Ethereum. So this is a guessing team, and there's actually I have two battles on it, and I kind of want to do this little team because I haven't actually it's been a very long time since I used this, and I haven't actually put it on my highlight or slash my Twitch stream. So I kind of want to share this with you, and hope you could have a good time with that. So last time I did a team, it was actually let's just send you the original clip here so you can see for yourself, and let's go for this. So this is gonna be a little slow motion. It's a slow battle going on, and obviously we can just have the things going on. Let's put up some music going on random. Yeah, pretty much just random. So how it is. So here it is. Let's go play it, and you guys will have to guess most of it. So I'm setting up the first Pokemon will be Tornadoes, and he sounds a bit doof. And as you can, I'm gonna use Taunt. You're probably gonna. It's kind of confusing because this is about your guessing of what I'll probably use for my moves and some other stuff. So I went for Bulk Up. It used Ice Beam. I kind of thought it was gonna be Zoroark, so I used Skydrop just to use some solid damage. But after I used Skydrop, I don't know why I just did this, but I just used Astonish because I thought it was still Zoroark. Thought that it's disguise, the illusion doesn't affect like Skydrop or something. I don't know why I was thinking of it, but like I thought Reduce doesn't learn Ice Beam or Thunderbolt, but apparently it did. So I used Astonish just to do some damage, and that didn't work out. So I just used another Skydrop, and that's gonna take out the opponent's Bidoof. Next Pokemon is gonna send in is Clefable. So, well, that's what I thought it was. So I used Taunt, do some solid damage, and it turns out, well, this Clefable, after using Skydrop, was not Clefable. It was actually a Zoroark in its illusion ability. So that goes with Surprise, and it takes me out with a second flamethrower. Next I'm gonna send in is my Ho-Oh, my shiny Ho-Oh, and I'm gonna use Celebrate, or Z Celebrate, basically boosting my my whole stats with 1+ for each one. So I use Overheat just to take care of the Zoroark, just in case, if it doesn't want to, use any different attacks or anything like that. Just use anything. I use Laser Force because I needed to use my Overheat again, but this time I have a plus or a -1 negative special attack. So I kind of wanted to. I'm gonna need that Laser Force Overheat crit in order to do this. And yeah, so let's see here. So I used Overheat again, and then this suddenly happened where I was kind of confused, and it used Counter. Like, excuse me? Why Counter? I mean, I'm using a special one, not a physically one. So, yeah, it kind of suddenly happened. So I switched into my Shuckle, just to switch it into something else. And then I just suddenly used trying to use some other stuff. Also, hope that there's been in the vacuum. Fancy vacuum in my room. I hope not. Anyway, so I'm gonna go for Rock Polish, and I'm gonna use also Power Trick. The Power Trick, it's gonna basically revert the physical stats and the defensive stats. Basically, revert into a switch. So it's basically I hit from getting a very tanky Shuckle. I was a super powerful Shuckle, but unfortunately couldn't take it out to Clefable and went down with the counter. And then I switched into Scolipede and used Rollout. Usually people see it's a setup or something, but I run it as a a really strange set with it, and probably a lot of people are gonna laugh when you see this in real life. Well, in maybe showdowns, but yeah. So the next Pokemon I just he send it out after go down with the Configurable. He sends in Chestnut. So I went for a 5th rollout, and that took out the Chestnut with one more rollout. So next I used Rest. Yes, Rest on a Scolipede. Never ever have you seen before. Literally, no one ever used this. So I went for Sleep Talk, trying to get a Sleep Talk rollout, and yeah, it turns out it's going to use a Belly Drum and try to do some strange sets. I really hope I'm not going to get through. Oh, but the lag doesn't delay too much with it, but whatever. So I used Heavy Slam. I thought you were going to use like Earthquake or something, but I guess it didn't use it. And lucky enough, I was actually managed to get a Poison point, so I don't know if that Poison matter or not. But honestly, my team really can't handle. Can probably like they need to set up. Need to at least use one attack, and unfortunately, I didn't know what moves it had by then, and it used the Heavy. I thought it had Close Combat or something, so I ended up having to rely on hopefully that the poison effect, and lucky enough, it didn't have it because apparently it had Body Slam. So I switched into Laro, used Rest because I thought I was going to use Close Combat, and yeah, that didn't exactly work as he planned. So I just just put myself to sleep, and then took it out with the Poison. So next Pokemon is descended was the Crobat. I'm gonna use a Snarl Weavile, which I don't know if anyone's seen it before, but now you do. So I'm gonna go for a Snarl. Now, as you can tell, because I use Snarl and Surf, I used a special set, and most people never see a Weavile with a special set because its base special attack is obviously. So I use a Snarl, and this is where the trolling begins. So I had to activate my Petea berry. I don't know how to say. And obviously this is a special sweeping set, and it's gonna go down with the Heat Wave because I wanted to use Nasty Plot just to switch into my Laro. And yeah, this is where the troll begins. And let me tell you, people, now, often when I use the Laro, it always fails because when I almost every time use it in battle, it doesn't last at all. Like, it just always goes down from a one of super effective attack, and it can't even handle it. It's even like Evolite, and he has like defensively, especially defensively TP and like set. It just. It was really well prepared, but apparently it's still not as good as using. So yeah, that happened. But anyways, so I'm gonna go for Spite. This is a Spite trolling set with Rest and Sleep Talk, and fourth move will be revealed afterwards, so you will see it afterwards. So I'm gonna go for another Spite. I'm actually gonna. Oh, actually, no. I went for Metal Burst, so you can see it. So there's a Trolling Spite Metal Burst set. So you can see there. So if I use Spite, I can get rid of some of the moves on the opponent, so they can drain up a more useful move. So it's like every time you use the attack, it will drain 4 of its moves. Essentially, it runs 5 in total once you use that move. So I'm actually going to just speed up the process because there's not much to say here. I basically just Spite stalled until the Crobat was about to go struggle, and I could have actually took it out at the beginning with my Weavile's Blizzard or Snarl or just something, but I wanted to try using the Laren strategy, so I ended up keep it alive, and this is where the fun part. I kind of was well, hopefully. I was kind of not hoping to get like specifically like critted or like flinched, but luck was in my side and was actually managed to get most of my my Spite off of it, so I can just make it struggle. So I Spited until it had almost no moves. It only had this point Heat Wave only, so I used Metal Burst again, and it had 4 moves of Heat Wave. and I was just basically stalling enough time where it prepared to struggle, and this is where the lull happens. So, used another heat wave. It brought it to 20 HP, and then I basically did is switched into Ho-Oh just to do this, the start of the little funny trolling, I guess you could say. So I used basically a Celebrate and Laser Force just to troll the Crobat, just to making it struggle until it goes down. So yeah. So the opponent couldn't do nothing. I used Celebrate just to troll him a bit, just because I didn't want to use Rest, and it would be just too boring. And there will be nothing I could have, like, he could have not took it out anyway. Could not possibly take out my what's it called, my Lair because of the struggle. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't work because I have the Rocky Head as my ability, and yeah, probably would have done much anyways. And I think a Rocky Helmet doesn't work anyways, because it only works due to like recalls. So yeah. So anyways, that took and basically afterwards, the Crobat went down, and it went down from a struggle, and that was pretty much it. The first battle. So thank you much, Drekkorpos. I hope I say the right name. And let's move on to the next battle. So as you can tell, there's a two variety of sets of my team that I used. One of them being a part 1 of using 3 out of 6 of my team, and then in this team, or this part of my team, I switched 3 of mine just to use some other sets. So this one is going to be a little bit more different than you saw. So well, some of them at least. All my other 3 Pokemon, Ho-Oh, Weavile, and Tornadus, will be stay there in the spot, while the others will replace. So basically I switched Lairon, let's see, I switched Lairon. Who was using else? I switched my Scolipede and Shuckle. So now in this part 2 of the team I had a Linoon, a Durant, and a Darkrai. So let's start the battle. So as you can tell from another team, as you can tell from I was facing against K. Froy. I don't know what to say, but he had also had a little, like some sort of a theme team as well, as you can tell. And yeah, I ended up I wanted to face him anyway. So I used Taunt because I thought, obviously, you know, the Fortress could set up some strange setups, and like Stealth Throg and Toxic Spice and stuff like that. I used Astonish just to try to get some flinches, and apparently that didn't work out, and then used Explosion just to take it out. So next it switched in was a Golem, or the Golem. I popped the Air Balloon so I can hit all the ground type moves will affect it, but unfortunately I don't have any ground type moves on my team, so that wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out anyways. So I used Superpower on it, and unfortunately used Power Punch. Then I switched into Darkrai because of the eject button, and yeah, this is not what I was planning, but ended up have to do it anyways. So I had to use Darkrai because this was I was planning to use it in battle, but unfortunately couldn't use it much moveset because unfortunately I used Explosion, took it out. That's that. So yeah, I will explain the strategy afterwards, so you don't have to worry about it. I'll tell the whole detailed moves so I can use the showcase anyways. So so the person sends in Blissey, and they use Drain Punch, which were pure content. I loved it. Which is because, well, obviously Chance's physical attack is awful. It's like 10 base, so I can't do nothing. So I use Nazi Plot on the Blissey, and he's setting up Rain Dance, switching to Ludicolo. I use Nazi Plot and managed to live on 2 HP with a Rain Dance, or with a Rain Hydro Palm Ludicolo. And maybe because of the only reason I lived it, because I used Snarl and dropped its special attack by 1. So that's why. And next comes Steelix, which pretty much is Brock's main member, which, as you can tell, it's obviously a full Brock theme team. So yeah, so I used Surf on the Weavile, and pretty much unfortunately lived because it's sturdy, and then actually did just took me out with a flash cannon. Or what's a flash cannon? Yeah, it was flash cannon. So next I send in is Linoon, my special Linoon, and I used Hyper Voice just to take out Steelix, and that went down. Next it switched in was Blissey, which were gonna be a little fun thing. So so I used Charge Beam, get a plus +1 on special attack. I used Drain Punch, which was kind of funny, and I was kind of happy to, try these sets. And I used Psychic, and I kind of got a little confused with the set because I didn't know whether either had the heal moves or not. But so far, I kind of enjoyed it. So I ate my Patea Berry and used my final Hyper Voice, do some solid chip damage, and went down from a Psychic. So that's that. Next, I switched into my Durant, my sacrifice one, and went for Superpower just to take it out. And originally, this was supposed to be an entrainment set, but unfortunately, I didn't be able to use it much, so I ended up using Superpower just to take it out. And the next, it comes in another Crobat, which, yes, again, another Crobat came out, and finished me up with a Braver. Now, this is where the fun part went in, and I laughed at pretty much when it happened. So, he used Sludge Bomb, I used the Z Celebrate, and then pretty much all I had to do is use Laser Force and then take out the Crobats, because I'm pretty sure Crobat will not live a critical overheat, so I ended up using that. So I used Laser Force. It couldn't, pretty much the Crobat could not do anything. It had to deal with 2 more damage. I waited for its turn, and then he salty rage quitted because he didn't want to attack. I spent 2 minutes and he didn't want to do it. All I have to do is Laser Force and then hit it with the overheat, and that's pretty much Crobat's down. So that went a pure beautiful salty rage quit with it, and I couldn't believe it. Let's go ahead. That was complete salt. Let's go ahead and thank you much for the thank you for the battle, K Fro E. Unfortunately, like I said, you got beaten by a critting Ho-Oh, a special one, and a pure salty rage quit. So yeah, let's go ahead and explain some of my sets of my team that you can see from here, and I'm going to show you most of my team and show you how the moves run. So this Ho-Oh was a Normalium Z Celebrate set with Pressure as the ability, because, well, obviously needed the most, and actually pretty funny because Pressure also, if this Pokemon is the target of the foe, move lose 1 additional PP. So basically, it will when it use an attack, it use 2 of its moves and instead of 1, so it drops 2. Use 2 PP moves to attack me with 1 move. So it's like using 2 moves or 2 of its attacks, but it will eventually have to use 1. So that's a kind of a pricey one. So that's that. It had Laser Force, Celebrate, Roost, and Overheat. This is a critting Ho-Oh set with Laser Force as the critting move and Overheat the main attack. Now the strategy with this one is, oh yeah, also one more thing. It was a max health and max special attack with 4 for the speed, and it was a modest nature because I needed the most damage to do some solid damage with it. So how this run is, like, I was trying to think about something like, using some complete different sets, but like I couldn't think about any good use of Ho-Oh. Like it had a lot more competitively useful sets you could use in battle, but I kind of run something that most people never get to see it often, and I kind of wanted to see if I could use this possible set. So I looked up his moves poll, and I noticed they learned Overheat and Laser Force. So I thought, well, why not run a critting set? So this is using Normalium Z Celebrate to basically boost every stats of its every possible stats it gets, except for accuracy and evasion, because those doesn't count. So that's that. And then afterwards, I use Laser Force. I can use Overheat and get a solid a 1+ special attack critted Overheat, and that should do some sick solid damage. And even with some battles, I even tried it on with plus special attack 1 with like a critting overheat. It can even do some solid damage against some super resisted Pokemon like Quagsire. It like even a one-time in battle, I actually was able to drop its HP from 100 to like 38 of its HP. So that went pretty amazing. So I thought this could be a very useful thing to use in battle. So I ended up using it. I have Roost for for healing up my Ho-Oh, just because, you know, well, if there's anything I can use. I mean, I could use Laser Force and then some other moves on top of it, but if I would have used Laser Force Overheat, there won't be any reason to like setting up like I could run like something like Psychic or maybe it's Psychic, but maybe something that can set up more likely. Like maybe Burn Up. Burn Up could be a good one because it makes me not pure fire types, but unfortunately it can only use it the one time only. So that means it's pretty much useless. So yeah, I also know that you can learn Charge Beam, which could be a cool thing, but yeah, I didn't feel like I want to use setups like that. I mean, even then I already had Celebrate, so that would have just increased my special attack by 1. And this was just a fun set, and I didn't want to use like sweeping sets with it. So I ended up using this one. So that's pretty much it for the set. Let's go ahead next set, which is going to be Scolipede. And this is where this one was a very complicated thought of me using it, but it wasn't really interesting anyways to use, so I ended up using it. So this is a Stone Plate Poison Point Scolipede. Most people you run it as a speed boost one, but I wanted to run a more of a some fun and different sets. So this was a rollout Stone Plate strategy with Swords Dance, rollout, rest, and sleep talk. So now, obviously, Scolipede is a very destructively and very annoyingly Pokemon because it's usually setting up using a speed boost, just to use some setting up Toxic Spice. Usually, that's usually what you use on Scolipede often. But it's even so powerful enough to even like you can use it even in a competitive set using like Earthquake, Poison Jab, and even Mega Horn, and possibly can just even sweep most of it. It has a lot of potential physical moves you can use it on your opponent, and it hits a lot. It's truck. But to make this set even more fun, because nobody never gets it at all, and I usually want to go for surprises with the set, I thought, well, I could run a special one, but most of my team was going to be based around special, and I didn't want to use a third one, and I couldn't really thought any good use of the Scolipede's move pool. Like, sure, yeah, I could have run like an attractive Scolipede with like double team, toxic, and then like rest something, like I don't know, something like that. But it was actually could be also possible. But the thing is, like, it's the base defense and special defense. It's not as like good as you use. Like most people usually go by super effective attacks. So once Scolipede's in the field, you really don't want to get involved with like getting yourself a hit, because Scolipede's not going to be able to handle so much with it defensively. So that's why I thought of new strategy making it. So I used a Swords Dance rollout set because normally no one in the world ever used a rollout strategy, so I ended up using that. I had Rest, Sleep Talk for the lulls, and Poison Point because, well, I don't want to run a speed boost on all of the Scolipedes, because Scolipedes usually run speed boosts anyways. So I thought I thought Poison Point would be cool to use, so I ended up getting use of that. And that's pretty much it. There will be like I mean, here's the thing. I could have tried maybe like run a flinching one, but I already have a Pokemon that I already setting up with the flinching part, which I will talk a little later. But we'll move on to the next one and talk about that from there. So besides that, Scolipede was okay to use, but it was a little bit difficult because most opponents had a lot of strong versus moves against Scolipede, which makes it not able to like it's not even like, here's the thing, because this one is a max health, max attack one with Jelly Nature with only plus 4 on its speed. Because here's why. I wanted to run, well, try a bit more of a defensively a tanky one, but I wanted to use a rest and sleep top because, well, no one ever use it. So I thought running more of a HP one could actually potentially beat its defense and special defensively bulk. But I couldn't know if I couldn't use the speed as much, because I could run the speed, but that's when I know that most people usually go with max speed on their team, and I mean, they could potentially outspeed me, but I wanted to also try and make them think that obviously it's a speed boost one, and you know, trying to use the speedy Scolipede, because as you can tell, if I run a max speed one, it'd be up to 355 speed, which is an extremely good Pokemon for speed. But I wanted to run them more of a maybe like a decent speed one. So this one was like okay to use, but not recommended to use in battle, but still was fun to use. And that's pretty much it. Next Pokemon we're gonna talk about is Weavile. Now, this is a this is a special Weavile, which I used, well, now at least. So this set was meant to be used, well, I was trying to make this more of a fun set. So this is a Patea Berry Pickpocket set. I could run Pressure, but I thought Pickpocket would be more fun to use, so I ended up using that. It has Nasty Plot, Blizzard, Snarl, and Surf. So this is a completely based around a sweeping Weavile set, but it has more special attack. Now, obviously, a lot of people goes with the physical sets because, I mean, that's where most people anyways run it. So I ended up thought, hey, well, most people never use its special attack, so I thought, why not go and give it a try? And I didn't want to run like, I mean, like here's the thing, Weavile, it's just, I mean, it's very fast, first of all, and it hits a lot, and it got a lot of move pool that I could try use. Like I even thought about using some sweaty like troll set, but the thing is, like similar with Scolipede, it doesn't have the greatest defensive set, and even with like looking at Scolipede and the Weavile's base stats, it basically has four base stats lower than the Scolipede, but it's like switched around. So it's basically it's not even a good tanky one. Like it can sure handle a neutral one, but when it comes to one effective, super effective move, it pretty much goes down because, well, Weavile has never been exactly as a tank one anyway. So yeah, I thought yeah, better off to go for a sweeping one, so I ended up using a special one. Nasty Plot for increasing its special attack, and because, well, special attacking Weavile is pretty bad, and because he has base around 45 for his special attack. So yeah, I ended up thought it would be useful to use that. Have Blizzard for its stab, Snarl, and Surf for the, actually I forgot to tell them what. Snarl for its other stab, and Surf for coverage. Now you can run you can replace Blizzard for Ice Beam, but I need something more base power. So I thought Blizzard would be great to use it, and I thought it maybe could use like something like Hail or something like that, you know. But here's the thing, I couldn't really fit Blizzard in it, or not Blizzard, Hail, or actually does it learn Hail? It does learn it, so I couldn't fit in because, well, first of all, I would have to live 2 of its attack because I had to rely on the Hail using, and then I had to use Nasty Plot to increase my special attack. And before even setting up one of those two, I probably would have to live 1 attack or probably a swap from something, and you never know what it will switch into, so I have to make a big risk of using something else. So even though it's like Blizzard has only 70 accuracy base, so it's not something you want to take the risk on. it only basically has a 20%, a 50-50 risking of one of them being that, or the like positive hit or negative miss. So you could run Ice Beam, like I said, but I needed something something more interesting, using more base power, because you know it's not as good as possible. It's not good with special attack, like I said. So I ended up using this one. So because I mean, look at this. I even have this one that has 250, like basically max special attack and max speed with 4 HP. I had Snarl as the backup, or not backup, but has its other stab move, which basically what it does, it has again once it has 100% chance to lower the opponent's special attack by 1, and that will be a great move because you can use it to like set up some of the other Pokemon that you'll use on battle. And Snarl, it's not exactly as powerful as a strong move, so I kind of would have thought that we could use that one instead. Now, often you can even possibly, if you want to use a special one, you can optionally use Dark Pulse. It can even learn Dark Pulse right there. I thought of this more of a throat spray set, most likely, but since this is not a generation where Dynamax wasn't in a reveal, since I'm playing Anything Goes, which means there will be only no like Dynamax sets or anything like that, so you just have to rely on luck of that. And then I have Surf for backup, because just in case, you know, if I was facing a fire type, then you know, Surf would be a good move to use on it. And that's pretty much it. So Bacteria Berry will activate when I'm low in on my HP. I have Nasty Plot to increase my special attack, like I said. And once I got a couple Nasty Plots, it's just based around hoping I can at least guarantee one shot the other Pokemon, and that's pretty much it. So that's it. I actually think I might have another Pokemon based around this, but I don't want to reveal it because I want to make this more of a secretly used. And I actually huh? Hello. Sorry, excuse me. Someone's saying hi. But I actually have a Weavile sweep that I'm probably gonna upload a little later. That I actually have this similar set. So if you want to see this one, I might put it up later on, and who knows, maybe you will actually enjoy this one. And that's pretty much for the Weavile, and I might even showcase another version of this set again, just to explain this one again. But you know, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's nothing personal, but yeah. So this next one is a very, very strange one, but go with me to this one because I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, now this is a shell. No, it's not shell. It's a rock polish. No, it's basically a power tricking Speedy Shuckle. And yeah, Speedy Shuckle is not an option you definitely want to run. And sure, maybe you can use like Contrary to like basically boost its defense. Most people use it as either a Sticky Web, Setup, Shuckles, or a Shell Smash, Rest, Sleep Talk, or Rest, Toxic, Infestation one. Like most people use it as a Shuckle, but yeah, I definitely don't want to use that. So I ended up using something else. So now, a hard choice with Shuckle was the fact what moves it would have to run. So I thought a really hard choice. Like I could run maybe I could run Shell Smash with Power Trick or something like that, but that would have end up doing like the opposites, because here's the thing: Shell Smashing with Power Trick would not work out because it's a power tricking set. It has Salic Berry as the item, because you know, if I want to run a speedy one, I need to get that. I have Gluttony as the ability, and actually, did I think I got, yeah, it was the right ability. Just make sure that I thought it was a different Pokemon. So I have Gluttony as the ability because I need to activate it as possible. I have Rock Polish for, you know, boosting my speed, and even with +2 speed, you're probably gonna need +4 to 5 to solidly outspeed something if you actually want to take a risk. Because so far Shuckle is a very slow turtle. Well, it is kind of a turtle, so a warm turtle, more like, but I don't know. But yeah, so you have Bug Bite, Power Trick, Rock Polish, and Stone Age. This has a 200 max health and max defense, and I have Careful Nature with +4 on the speed. So yeah, that's most likely it. Yeah, I would say Shuckle so far has been probably the most difficult Pokemon that I've used on my team, because it just doesn't work as good as you thought. I mean, I was lucky enough to use it on one battle one time, but unfortunately Shuckle in general, it's not as useful as you thought. Like you need to actually have, like, you're probably gonna need like you have to get, like, I'm pretty sure Jolly Nature, max speed, and then you have to like have probably +6 on the speed, because even though it's like I could probably show you right now, because if I run a Jolly Nature, it would have a base around 119 speed, which, even though if a Shuckle does equipped it with that, I would have not able to withstand that one. And Shuckle would have actually better off with the max speed, actually, general. I would have actually, now I messed up my strategy. I should have run that one. I don't know. But yeah, then again, I could have I had to rely on the physical defense in order to make my attack a lot more stronger. So this was the option of me deciding of the luck of me. Actually, oh, it was a Jolly one. So was it Jolly? I completely forgot which one is it. So no, actually, it was a Careful one, I think. Was it? At this point, you guys should know which one it was. So I can actually at least guarantee resist attack, and then setting up my Rock Polish, and then use Power Trick. Because if you don't know what Power Trick does, I already explained this one. It basically reverse switches the user's attack and defense stats. So basically reverts the physical and special attack to the physical defense and the special defense, and making them basically swap. So it's basically from a 10 attack switches to and then use Power Trick, it will revert the base stats 10 to the melee defense and switch the 230 defense to the 10 base stats on the attack. So basically the turn basically once you use Power Trick on specifically like a defensive Pokemon, like let's say, yeah, basically you use the Power Trick, it basically from Shuckle's base 230 defense, it basically gets 230 for the physical attack, but unfortunately it gets 10 for the base defense, and obviously for the other two, special attack and special defense switch as well. So that's that. And my other moves were Bug Bite for my stab, and Stone Edge for another one, because of it. So that's pretty much it for Shuckle. There is not much to talk about besides it, and yeah, that's it. So that's that. Now, next Pokemon I'm going to talk about has to be the most difficult choice that I've used so far. First, it's not difficult. Actually, Scorpion was the most difficult. Actually, Shuckle was, but not as like difficulty to use, but it's preferably used as the last Pokemon lead. So, you can use that. But here it is. So it is my Lairon, which it's a Elvalite Lairon, and I could run Sturdy on it, but I kind of wanted to run something that it's just in case, if I was about to struggle, then it's just like, let's say here. So Rockhead said, this Pokemon does not take recoil damage besides struggle, life orb, and crash damage. Which, yes, I mean, most of my moves has recoil moves. Yes, that definitely means. I could run heavy metal, but I did try it one time and it didn't work out, so I ended up having to use Rocky Head. And I could run Sturdy, but I wanted to run, but this is a tanky one, so I definitely have to use that. But then again, if you want to run this set, you definitely want to run Sturdy to use Metal Burst just in case because of it. But I run this one as that. So this is a trolling Spite set with Rest, Sleep Talk, and Metal Burst. It has max health, max special defense, with careful nature and +4 of this defense. And honestly, I have nothing to say about this Lairon actually, and just like honestly, I've been using this Lairon a lot and usually fails. But luckily in this first battle, I was managed to use it in the first try, like the very good try, and it was successfully working. So that's nice. And I actually don't know what to say more than that. I actually just generally like here's the thing, Lairon's is not exactly, it's more like it's more of a tanky defensively, so you can run its defensive stats, which most people use it, but there was no moves besides this set I could create with it. It even has smelling salts, which actually would be a very fun move to use in this one. Like I could have used like I don't know, like something that has like status move on it, but I have no Pokemon that had the status move in general that can put the opponent paralyzed, so you're gonna end up using it. So I ended up having making this a oddly set, and honestly, this Lairon was not as, I mean, it was only a good for the one battle. Honestly, I've tried multiple battles with this set and just wouldn't work out. So I just hope that my next time whenever I make a set, it's gonna be more success. So that's that. And the next and the last and final Pokemon for the Group 1, which actually, yes, I was gonna say technically it's gonna say the final one, but I have 3 more, so don't have to go involved skipping this one, so don't worry. So this is a flinching tornado set with King's Rock and has the generator ability because that's the only one it gets. He has max attack, 100 for speed, and 156 for his HP. So how this works is that I wanted to run, well, it was hardly to use this one because well, first of all, it's a special attacker, so kind of run something with a physical set with it. And the only way I would have I really admiredly chose, hardly make it, it was like a hard choice for me because I didn't know what to run it to with it. I could replace it was most likely trying to be a meme set with a little bit of a salt set, and it was kind of enjoyable, most of it, and even useful in the battles because it had, well, first of all, it had Astonish, Skydrop, Bulk Up, and Taunt. Taunt was very useful with this team because without Taunt, I possibly could have get set up a lot, and even in battles, right, recently, a lot of people really, really annoyedly, once use, I even have faced, some opponents that used Spore, Smeargle, even that person who would have a full team of Smeargle, which I was like, nope, not interested, because he's gonna probably Baton Plus to something else, and use, Inferno, probably, Power Trick, Store Power, Belly Drum, and, that stuff. So, I just skipped, so, no. So, Taunt was really useful. I had Bulk Up for increasing my physical attack and defense, and, with the set, it was based around just to troll the opponent a bit. No, sweeping or anything like that, just to trying to troll them by using Astonish, trying to get King's Rock flinch with Astonish, and then Skydrop, do some solid good damage. And besides that, it's not as worst Pokemon as ever, but it has some decent base stats, with having a little bit of a, has 100 base attack, has a great speed, and has a decent HP. But as well, it has most its more main objective using a speedy special attacker, but yeah, I did end up using his physical ones because I liked it. And defensively and special defensively, it actually has some solid one. It's not exactly too bad, but it was an alright set, so it was an alright bulk, so I ended up using it anyways. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So after that, we're gonna go ahead and switch into Group 2. Oh wait, no, actually switch the team. Hold on, it's meant to be the opposite. hold on. It's wait. No, actually, this one's supposed to be a 2-1, not a 1. Hold on. I named it, switched it around, named it around there. So there it goes. So the next 3 Pokemon I'm gonna show you is the Linoone, the Durant, and the Darkrai. Now, Linoone was a Petea Berry Gluttony set had max speed, max special attack with 4 HP, and was a timid nature, and was obviously a special set. And usually when you see a Linoon, belly jump 100% instantly. No, like nothing like specifically. But obviously no one would have expected to see a special set. So that's why I was running. So so I had Charge Beam, Endure, Hyper Voice, and Shadow Ball. So the set was based around using Charge Beam to increasing my special attack by every time I'm using it, and then used and then use some other moves in coverage just to fire some solid damage. I had Hyper Voice for stab and Shadow Ball for coverage. Just in case, if there's a ghost type wants to annoy me, then that's a good reason I want to use that. I also have Endure just in case, if I want to activate my Petea Berry, which usually should have activated because of the Gluttony. But if I somehow live on, like, for example, like 50% of my HP, maybe. Actually, if I was somehow able to live the first damage, like let's say 6 to 8% of my HP, and then suddenly live, and then suddenly the next damage is like, let's say C-Bomb. I was facing a Torterra who had C-Bomb. It did like a third out of my HP, and then suddenly it had Earthquake, which had more base power, and it did super high. It had stab, and for some reason get a crit, which most Pokemon get on my set. It would probably go down with it. But even if it does, use Earthquake, here's the thing. I had a small chance of resisting the damage, which you could have worked. Like, I could have withstand maybe one Earthquake for a Torterra, but the Torterra's attack had like 78 base power, for example. So that means it used a low roll attack and then used a full base power to take out Linoon. So that means if I would have activated my Petea Berry, I wouldn't. If Petea Berry is just in case if I couldn't activate my Charge Beam or anything like that. So I ended up using that. And then there was actually this was a set I was actually mistakenly used. I actually had Pickup as the accident ability on this battle because I forgot to change it. So honestly, I'm gonna give you a heads up that my ability meant to be Gluttony, but for this battle, I actually had Pickup by accidentally, so I gave them a pickup line with it, which is kind of a fun thing, but a mistake, and yeah, I kind of just want to say this before you go ahead and explain how this Gluttony didn't activate before run on like halfway his HP, because I was Pickup accident, and I could run Quick Feed, but it ignores speed drop from Paralyze. So that's even cooler. So that's that. And then yeah, and then I had that was pretty much it. So have Gluttony, it's a lot better than have Pickup, but my mistake was having a Pickup because I actually forgot to tell you guys before it. So yeah, this defense and special as defense, it's alright. Most people usually run its speed and then using its belly drum just to extreme speed sweep through them, and use Stamping Tantrum on any steel types, which is most an annoying part with people using it. And I don't know why people even use it. Like they should really delete Stomping Tantrum, because otherwise this Pokemon will be too OP. And I really hope they actually can fix this, because having Stomping Tantrum as well, because people can run like Sticky Web and then using like rocks on the field to get it sturdy, but when it comes to steel types, extreme speed and some of the stuff wouldn't work. So Stomping Tantrum is the only way to get this Linoon to make it as good as possible. But that's the thing. You need to have something to just counter, so you need something to ignore it. So I think maybe using Stomping Tantrum with the set didn't work out. And I mean, I'm not running it obviously, but it's like, that's most people run it with the Linoon anyway. So that's pretty much it for the Linoon set. And let's go move on to the next Pokemon, which is gonna be Duran. And this is one I really actually just felt like I just wanted to use, just not much, but in general, yes.
Hey.
Hello, I'm streaming right now.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry, you're welcome. Excuse me, I have some guests right now. Currently, it's my brother's anniversary. It's an anniversary, but it has a oh, great, I forgot what it calls actually. Hold on, let me check something quickly. Graduated. There we go. Sorry, I'm also streaming on this part of this whole stream for this time. Sorry, I'm curious. So this is a this is a basically a common Durant, which is most people usually run anyways. It has Jolly Nature, max speed, max HP with a 4+ attack. It had a eject button as the item, and you know most people never expect to see a Durant anyways. With like, I mean, I would love to run this physical attack, or like run like with like hustle, or like with the physical sweeping sets. But like, you know, it would have been obvious, you know, so I would have to make them at least unsure that one set has to be more, you know, regularly. So I ended up using a. Oh yeah, hold on a second. You're kind of in my head. Oh, not like. Hold on. Give me a second, people. Excuse me for the highlight clip. If I got a little ruined, I guess that was just how everything goes now. Yeah, the highlight got a little bit interrupted because, well, you know, when it comes to graduation, my mom really wants everything to be perfect. So, anyways, this was an entrainment, a rock slide, superpower endure set with eject button, and has truant ability because with truant and entrainment, eject button myself, and then I could just switch into my next Pokemon just to hope it can actually do some solid damage. Besides that, this Durant does not have any specific reasons to have be in the battle. I had Rock Slide just to do just to make sure if there was any flying type / fire type wants to annoy me, then I could use Rock Slide, and then have Superpower for, you know, coverage because of it. And that's it. So that was not much to say from Durant. I really wish I could talk more about that, but at the moment I feel like I want to just end this highlight as soon as I possibly can. So I just want to just speed up this process. So yeah. Now, the next set was a Darkrai set, which has Wide Lens, Bad Dream set, and has Jolly Nature with max speed, max attack, and 4 HP. And now this set actually, the thing is about this set is that I kind of stole it a bit from a YouTuber named Trimfnoit, I guess. I mean, it's not like annoying, but yeah. But I ended up going to use the set, and normally no one sees this as a physical set anyway, so I ended up using that. It has Swords Dance as getting plussing its attack, and then Hypnosis for it putting the opponent to sleep while using a Swords Dance. And the Bad Dreams also affects, actually it will be a good thing, because with Hypnotize and Bad Dreams, it will basically make 1 out of 8 of its HP just like it just gets, or like let's say it causes sleep ejected foes to lose 1 out of 8 of their max HP at the end of each charge. So that's that, and yeah, that's it. So this one more about based around luck. So if I had missed my hypnosis, I had to rely on Swords Dance and then hope I can do some solid damage with my other 2 moves, which is Drain Punch and Sucker Punch. And that's most likely it. So I wish I could. I mean, Darkrai. It's not as terrible to use. I mean, it's most like a speedy special attacker with like Nasty Claw, Dark Pulse, and stuff like that. But it's just awful with it. So I just really want to use something completely else. And then, yeah, actually that's like pretty much it. I was gonna say something else there, but I don't know why I stopped. But I just ended up doing it. So and that's pretty much it. So I mean, here's the thing. I could run like maybe like a facade, maybe like a facade something else set, but I didn't feel like I couldn't run anything differently, so I ended up using that. And I could run Dark Void maybe to give it more signature, but Ended up using Hypnosis because it got more accuracy, and Hypnosis, not Hypnotize, Hypnosis. Never usually get to use it anyways, so I ended up trying that out. And that's pretty much it. So using Dark Punch, what? Drain Punch for coverage, and just in case you fought like a Dark, and maybe like a Dark or a Dark type or a Ground type or something like that, then Drain Punch will be good for it. I have Sucker Punch for its coverage, and we could run it like remove it for knockoff, throat chop, or maybe like feint attack or something like that. I don't know, but Sucker Punch is really good, be useful just in case if you run into something that has like Swift Swim, Rain, or like something with a Scarf. Maybe that will most likely outspeed Darkrai and probably take it out, and that's most likely I can get my counter, because so far, unfortunately, in this battle, I never got to use it because Darkrai missed its first Hypnosis, and then it just went down from a Drain Punch, or not Drain Punch, went down from a Golem's explosion. So I never got to use it in battle too much, but at least you got to see it for my set. And that's pretty much it for this specific highlight. I hope you guys enjoyed the one right now. I really hope you guys and girls enjoyed both of them sets, and that were a little bit like most Pokemon that were a little bit complicated to use. But I will definitely assure that upgrade them once I do another theme team in the future. But that's pretty much it for the Pokemon Showdown theme teams that I've been putting up for a very long time. It's been 10 months ever since I did them, and I hope you guys enjoyed both of them. And see you next time. Peace.